Hello, good morning students of class 12 commerce. Welcome to Pandya sir's virtual class on macroeconomics, and today our topic of discussion is aggregate supply. We have been discussing in the last couple of discussions what is aggregate demand. We have already completed discussion of aggregate demand and its various components, and today we are going to discuss aggregate supply, the other side. So aggregate supply, first we need to understand what is aggregate supply. Aggregate supply is nothing but the total supply of goods and services in an economy in one accounting year. So now think, the total supply of goods and services in an economy in one accounting year means the total production of goods and services in the economy. So the total production of goods are, so how much goods is produced, that much is supplied, and that much income is generated in the economy. The volume of supply and the volume of income generation is always equal. That's why aggregate supply is total supply of goods and services or total income generated in the economy. Both are synonymous. That's why in the diagram you can see this is aggregate supply curve that starts from the point of origin, and this is aggregate supply, and then also this is income curve, that is y equal to C plus S. So aggregate supply or income equal to C plus S. C plus S is consumption plus saving. Earlier we have discussed that aggregate demand is consumption plus aggregate demand was consumption plus income Y, and aggregate supply is C plus S, that is consumption plus saving. After all, whatever is our income, it is used for two different purposes. Part of our income we spend to consume goods and services in order to get satisfaction, and part of our income is saved for further use or future use. That's why income is nothing but the combination or the sum of consumption and saving. Income is the sum of consumption and saving. And here we got aggregate supply is consumption and saving. So consumption we have already discussed, still I am repeating it. Consumption is a function of income. So what exactly we mean when we say consumption is a function of income? That means the consumption pattern changes with the change in the pattern of income. That means when income rises, our level of consumption also rises, and when income falls, our level of consumption also falls. That's why we can say that consumption is a function of income, and symbolically we write C equal to F within bracket Y. And how to read it? C, that is consumption, is a function of income, and saving. We know very well that saving as income equal to consumption plus saving. From the same equation we can derive that saving equal to income minus consumption. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हमारा टोटल सेविंग कितना होगा? हमारा कमाई से अगर हम जितना कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं उसको घटा दिया जाएगा, माइनस कर दिया जाएगा, तो रिमेनिंग जो बचा वो हमारा सेविंग है. So once again the equation saving is the difference between income and consumption. Now just come to this diagram and we will make an analysis of this diagram, the observation of the diagram. You can see in the diagram, you can see three different curves. Along x-axis we have taken level of income, it is 100, 200, 300. In this way level of income is increasing. H we move from left to right, and the same way along y-axis we have taken consumption and saving. Two different variables are represented in y-axis, and as we move from below to upwards, the level of saving and consumption is going on rising and rising and rising. Yesterday only we have discussed, you see this, that the curve, that is consumption curve, that starts from 50, and what is the reason why the consumption is not starting from 0 or point of origin and it is starting from 50? The consumption starts from 50. What does it mean? It means that consumption is always positive. Even if at 0 level of income, consumption is positive. We have already discussed that earlier in our previous class, that consumption can never be 0. Why? Because it is autonomous consumption. That means even if we are not earning anything, even if our income level is 0, we have to consume something for our survival. That's the consumption curve starts from 50. Means at 0 level of income, we have to consume a minimum worth of 50. And income or aggregate supply curve starts from the point of the origin, that means from 0. That means income can be 0 also, and as we move along the income curve, it is going on rising and rising and rising. And another curve we have got, that is the saving curve, the below one. And the most interesting point in the saving curve is, it is not positive, it is starting from a negative point, that is minus 50. So see, our income is 0. If we are consuming 50 rupees, then what is our saving? हम कुछ कमा नहीं रहे हैं और 50 रुपया खर्च कर रहे हैं खाने के लिए, तो हमारा सेविंग कितना बना? माइनस 50 बना कि नहीं? तो that's why sir, saving curves start from 0, and as saving is a function of income, both consumption and saving are function of income, because as the level of income goes on rising, both consumption and saving increases. That means it is something very, very universal, that when our income grows, if our income is increased by 1 rupee, then obviously we are not going to spend the entire income in our consumption. This is very peculiar human instinct. Out of our increased income, we always try to save a part of our increased income. That's why when income rises, both level of consumption and level of saving also rise. So what you can see, that the saving curve starts from 50, minus 50, and as the income level rises, the distance between x-axis and saving curve is getting narrower and narrower and narrower. What does it mean? That means the negative saving is being reduced, and at 100 level of income, when our income is 100, our saving becomes 0, because it is touching x-axis, and after that it becomes positive. That means it is going above the x-axis. So what is the reason? We can see here, you see, saving can be in 3 different states. Saving can be positive, saving can be negative, saving can be 0. So when saving is positive, see that is consumption is less than income. Let us verify it in the diagram. When saving is positive means saving is above the x-axis, and this point coincides here, and from here you can see this is income curve and this is consumption curve. Income curve lies above the consumption curve. That means income is more than consumption, and from here onwards the saving becomes positive. So saving is positive when income is more than consumption. Saving becomes 0. That means it coincides with x-axis. At x-axis, saving is 0, where income curve and consumption collides, the colliding point. That means at when income is equal to consumption, saving is 0. Income is equal to consumption. शुद्ध हिंदी में, अगर हम जितना कमा रहे हैं उतना पूरा खर्चा कर दे रहे हैं, तो हमारा सेविंग 0 है। सेविंग कर्व एक्स एक्सिस को टच किया और उसके नीचे अगर उतरेंगे तो हम क्या पाते हैं कि इनकम कर्व सेविंग कंजम्पशन कर्व के नीचे है। इसका मतलब हम जितना कमा रहे हैं उससे ज्यादा खा रहे हैं, खर्च कर रहे हैं। तो कमाई से अगर खर्च ज्यादा हो जाता है तो हमारा सेविंग नेगेटिव बन जाता है, तो नेगेटिव सेविंग। सो फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट राइटवर्ड्स saving is positive, here saving is 0 and here below saving is negative. So three equations we got here. Saving is positive when consumption is less than income. Saving positive होता है जब हमारा खर्चा हमारा कमाई से कम रहता है। Saving is negative when consumption is greater than income. जब हम ज्यादा कमाते हैं और कम खर्च करते हैं, सॉरी ज्यादा खर्च करते हैं और कम कमाते हैं, तभी हमारा सेविंग नेगेटिव हो जाता है। और सेविंग इज 0 when C equal to Y, मतलब जब हम जितना कमा रहे हैं उतना खर्च भी कर रहे हैं, हमारा सेविंग 0 होता है। दिस इज टोटली सेविंग कर्व। So here we will stop today. This is about saving function, and tomorrow we will be discussing about marginal propensity to save and all other different concepts. So if you are getting problem, be regular, because it is a little tough. Unless you understand these chapters, you cannot understand the chapters that is coming ahead. That's why be careful, be serious, and be punctual. Thank you and have a nice day.